Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. And to quote John Hurd, I don't get it. As I said, I'm trying to cover some movies from this year and last year that I missed, and so I saw Flight Risk was on HBO Max. So I'm like, okay, why not? I didn't buy it because the movie came out. Everybody shit all over this movie, said it was like a big piece of shit. Don't watch it. It's a terrible movie. I'm like, it's on HBO Max. It's free. I ain't got to pay for it. I put it on. I'm watching this movie and I'm going, what's the problem? And I get to the end of the movie and I watch the whole movie and I'm sitting here. I go, what's the problem? Why did nobody like this movie? Why did everyone shit on this movie? I don't get it. There's two things that come to my mind. One is that it's a January release, so everybody automatically thinks it's going to be a bad movie, so they shit on it regardless, which I feel is not fair, but that's what it feels like. It came out in January, it must be bad, and then went and then watched it. But the big thing, the other thing, number two, is who the director is, Mel Gibson. And that, to me, despite the fact that they never once said Mel Gibson is director, except from the director of Braveheart, Apocalypto, and Hacksaw Ridge. Doesn't even say Mel Gibson's name on it because you don't want to put it, but they say from the director of. So Mel Gibson gives it clout. And so everybody saw, Mel Gibson's directing this, thinking it had to be some kind of highbrow, high caliber film. When all it is a decently made bottle thriller, where most of the film is set inside of a plane. Yes, there are moments that can get kind of boring, but that's why I have Mark Wahlberg in there. And to that, the only bad thing I saw about this movie, besides being boring, is the fact that Mark Wahlberg is for some reason bald. And there's no reason for it. There's no reason given. He's just bald. And that's probably what turned people away from it when they saw the trailer and saw he had that. And there's no reason given why he's bald in the movie. He shaved it himself. There's no point as to why he had to be bald in this movie. Then I watched this. I think the performances are decent. I think the pacing is somewhat decent. There's some times where, towards the end, it gets a little, he attacks them, gets knocked down, attacks them again, gets knocked down, sort of situation, just so they can keep. And there's too many, they get knocked down, then we gotta call someone again. And then, sort of situation. But, and it's a thriller all from the point of view of this plane. And it reminds me of another bottle thriller, Break, starring Stephen Dorff, where he's inside this trunk the whole time, trying to figure out what he's got to do and how to get out because they're holding him hostage and they want information. Or even his girlfriend was in on it in that movie. Spoiler alert. But that's what reminds me of it. That's a good movie. And I'm going to say it. This is a good movie. I don't get the hate. I enjoyed this. Mark Wahlberg gets... And people say, Mark Wahlberg's performance is on par with his performance in The Happening. Where? Point to a scene in this movie and show me where he gets... What? No! Nowhere in this film is this he get... I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get the hate for this movie. There are movies that I watch and that wasn't great. It wasn't that bad. I'm like, people just hating. But I legitimately cannot figure out why people hated this movie so much. It's a decently done thriller. It's Mel Gibson. And what people are saying, he's on autopilot. He did it to cash a paycheck. Maybe. But I don't think it's done badly. Some of the pacing has issues. I'll get into it, but I don't get the hate. Most of the negative reviews, critic, Critic responses. 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. 29. There are worse movies than this, according to Rotten Tomatoes, and they're, in my opinion, while there's a place for high-octane, dumb fun, flight risk dives straight into the unpleasant camp without a parachute. I don't get it. And then you got other people, reviewers, saying, well, I can see people seeing this as a guilty pleasure, or so bad it's good. You really can't concede that anyone would actually like this movie, because you didn't like it. And that's what I'm getting real frustrated with certain reviewers. I won't name them by name, but there's one in particular that irks me, because he will often judge movies, and he'll call them certain names. I'll just say so bad it's good fun movies, and say you can have fun with them, but they're not good movies. Like, he'll talk about the Fast and the Furious or the Jurassic Park movies and say, well, they're little fun movies, but you can't take them seriously. And it's like, why not? I know that, lately Fast and Furious hasn't been anything, but this is like, I don't know. I just get angry because it feels like he's gone from YouTube reviewer to, no, now I've got some credibility about me, so I'm going to be a snob, is what it feels like. And if it's not, if I don't like it, then it's not a good movie. But I can see how some people can have fun with it, but it's not a good movie to me. Like, people pointing their nose, and there's others too that have that, and I'm never gonna be like that. I know how to have fun with the movie, and it seems like a lot of other reviewers just don't anymore. And some people will tell you can't have fun with the movie if it's not good. Bull fucking shit. Troll 2, you can have hell of a fun with that movie. The Room, you can have hell of fun with that. And again, I'm kind of steering off, okay, so you're saying it's like those two. Hell no, it's a much better done movie than that. The acting, like I said, it's not bad. Mark Wahlberg goes there a little bit, gets a little woo, but it's not the happening levels that everyone keeps saying it is. Alright? I'm just saying. The plot here is that a U.S. Marshal named Madeline Harris is escorting a witness named Winston to Anchorage, Alaska, from somewhere else in Alaska to Anchorage, and they can transfer him to New York City so that they can get him to testify against the Moretti crime family. All right? And so they get on this plane, and it starts out fine, and then it's eventually revealed that the pilot is working for Moretti and trying to take him out. And the whole film is sat inside, the rest of the film is inside the plane, except for the end. Inside the plane, and throughout the film, there's plot twists and stuff. A lot of the dialogue is delivered where she's talking to someone over a phone, or over a radio, or something like that. The situation. And there is a lot of I'll have to call him Daryl because he isn't going to be able to name. Daryl gets knocked out, and then they do stuff. They try to figure out. He wakes up, does something, or he talks for a little bit. Eventually he gets loose. They fight, knocks him out. Then they do some more stuff. Then he gets loose again. It happens from time to time, and it kind of go back to the well-to-made times, I think. And if I have one criticism, it's that it does feel like it goes on for too long. But then when it ends, I feel like there wasn't enough to it. Where it's like, no, you can't end there. We need to see this through. They just ended at a certain point, and I went, no, we need to make sure that the plot points are tied up. That's the only big thing, is we don't see all the plot points tied up. The one specific, which we'll get to. But yeah. So Winston, played by Topher Grace, which would be another point of contention when people don't like this movie. He's like Jared Leto. He did one bad role in a movie, and he's like persona non grata with people, with people watching movies. Like, no, if he's in it, it's gonna be bad, which is bull fucking shit. Okay, it's bullshit. One bad role does not an actor define. All right. I mean, They're like, oh, Jared Leto was the Joker. That means every other movie he's in, it's bad. Every future role he has, movie's gonna suck because of him. Really? Tron Ares was pretty decent. Though a lot of people also didn't like that movie, but it was pretty decent. And he was the least of the problem in that movie. Everyone's... The He-Man movie didn't do very well. Probably because Jared Leto was in it. People will be judging. And you shouldn't be judging. And unfortunately, I feel like that's kind of come around to Mark Wahlberg as well. You know, I'm talking about Topher Grace. He was... If you know what I'm talking about. But he's a good actor. So is Mark Wahlberg. And I feel like it's another thing where Mark Wahlberg, since The Happening, he's got some clout. But not like it used to be. You know? Anyway. So we meet Winston. He's at a hotel. And Harris comes in, arrests him, and charters a small airplane to take him to Anchorage. So he can transfer to New York City. And she's going to have Winston testify. So, they get in the plane. They meet the pilot. His name is Daryl Booth. Texan living in Alaska. Which... So, I think another big issue we were going to have is if she's so... if this is such a big thing, so why wasn't everyone screened? Why wasn't the pilot screened? Maybe he was, but like, why doesn't she have a photo of the actual pilot? Why did she not get a look at what he looked like? The whole thing. No. Why is he doing a Texan accent? Because Daryl Booth is Texan? I don't know. But he gets in. He says that the radio and the GPS are regularly out of order. First red flag for me. He gets in and goes, the GPS and the radio, they ain't working right. Yeah, let's get another plane. Can we get another plane? Please? Me, personally, I'm going to already be iffy getting on a plane to begin with, but... So they got Winston shackled to the seat, and they're taking off, and they're having some back and forth dialogue, talk, that sort of thing. We learned that she used to smoke because he offers one. He goes, no, I quit. Which I feel like with all the problems she had, she would have started up again. But whatever. So while scuffling in the back, Winston finds a piece of paper that proves that this guy is not really Daryl Booth. But instead of just saying, hey, he's not the real pilot, he keeps trying to lure her to go back there, and she's not going to listen to him, no matter what he does. And I understand the point people are going to make. You can't just yell it out. You call it out, he's going to flip. But he's going to flip no matter what. Might as well do it in one fell swoop here. Where he's just trying to, you gotta come back. I gotta show you something. You gotta come back. Get back here. She's like, no, I got a problem. I'm not feeling so good. And then like, Daryl hands him starting to hyperventilate, one of the seasick bags or whatever. Yeah, use this. By the way, he's doing this Texan accent while also having his. Yeehaw! Here you go. You gotta have this right there, okay? I don't know what kind of accent he's trying to do, but. But how she figures it out is he mentions Seattle, which he shouldn't have known. So that's how she figures it out. Also, there's a blood spat on this shoulder, the left shoulder, excuse me, as he's turning around to give the bag. She sees it. My issue is that, so he shot him he shot the real Daryl with a silencer weapon, and it spurted on him. He didn't realize it. No, we later find out he like mutilated poor Daryl. One little spat of blood was all that was left. The only thing they got out of him was one little spat of blood. So that Daryl's revealed to not be Daryl. Well, I'm gonna call him Daryl because I don't have. Or I can call him Wahlberg. But anyway, she subdues him with a taser twice. Because I looked at piloting and taser and got Taylor with a taser, knocking him out. Eventually, she tases him. He falls down and he gets back up again. She tases him, burning his fucking flesh, knocking him down. She uses the satellite. She eventually figures out they're trying to communicate with the radio and they're not able to communicate. It's not working. They're too far away. But then she realized, oh, I have a satellite phone. She calls her superior, Carolyn Van Sant. And I heard the voice and I went, I know that voice. I looked at credits. It's Leah Remini from King of Queens. And she was also on Saved by the Bell. I'm like, yeah, okay, now that I know it's her, I can hear that voice. So she explains, hey, you have to keep him alive, to bring God to justice. Winston apparently had skimmed $1 million from a ready crime family during his time working for him. She's told that the real Daryl Booth had been tortured to death by that Daryl, and she will arrange another pilot to call her to help navigate. This is Hassan. I thought Hassan was going to be like... I was waiting for the accent to drop and then be like... because every time he's directing on... like... I don't know, I was waiting for the accent to drop and him be revealed to be in on it, but no. So then Daryl starts to reveal other stuff about the past, including an incident that put Harris behind a desk. She had another witness in her protection. She allowed the witness to go take a shower or a bath or something like that, and allowed her to do it alone. And while she was out, someone threw a Molotov cocktail in and burned her to death, and she ran instead of going in to save the witness. And she was chained to the bathtub so she couldn't move. And she was put on a desk duty because of it. And this is where she realizes, she will realize it later, but anyway, she starts to suspect Van Sant, not trusting her when Van Sant says that her team is going to pick them up. She gets I'd be a little bit suspicious too. She's not totally in the wrong here, but she calls and talks to Coleridge, her direct superior, the director, and during the conversation, he says that you can direct any calls to my beach house in whatever he says. It's not on here, and she takes a minute, but she realizes, wait a minute, didn't you say you were transferring money? What did you say it was? And he says, like, yeah. So she realizes Coleridge is the leak and not Van Sant. So she calls Van Sant and says, Coleridge is the leak, you need to get the hell out of there. I told him it was you. And I do like her response of, you told him it was me? Fuck. You told him it was me? Fuck. She's like, thanks a lot, you fucking bitch, you stupid bitch, or something like that, you fucking bitch. It's during this that Daryl wakes up. He's shackled to the overhead rack. Don's Winston. He's gonna make Winston suffer, and they also threaten to kill his mom. And they have someone going there to help too. He knows her address. So, blah 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 blah. Something I just said. So Hassan teaches her how to fly the plane, helping her out. And it's always, turn here, do this, okay, put on autopilot, and just ride the course. It's like, okay. And as soon as you're asking, what about the fuel? He goes, how much fuel you have? He's like, 25 gallons. Okay. Was okay. Yeah. We might not make it. And I'm like, 25 gallons is not enough to make it to Anchorage? And then later they're like, he's like, actually, I need to speed it up because something happened. And he's like, remember enough gas. 25 gallons is not enough to make it Anchorage sped up. I know that burns gas, but 25 gallons? I don't drive and I don't know gas, obviously, but how is that? Maybe it burns fast. I don't know. It's during this that Daryl gets loose. And just when they think that they're in the clear, and, you know, maybe this is a bit of a criticism too, he's like, we did it! We made it! We made it! And then, like, Daryl pops up, stabs him. I do like, he says like, oh, I'm sorry, how about it? Did I get it? Did I get a rib? Or maybe a spleen? It's okay, you can live without your spleen. You can live without your spleen. That was funny. It does take a lot. She, like, shoots him with a flare gun. And he's like, ah, and then she beams him with a fire extinguisher. She doesn't kill him. Because she's not like him, as she explains. And I know a lot of people criticize this. Why doesn't she just fucking kill him? Even in the movie, he goes, well, why don't you just fucking kill him? Just shoot him. Earlier, there is a point to be made. Oh yeah, you can go and shoot me. But how do you know it won't go right through me and hit the fuel tank? Okay, but now she can shoot. Even I was like, just shoot him in the head. Shoot him in the head. Aim down. Shoot him in the head. Put on autopilot. Get up. Put the gun straight at his head. Fire. Point it down. He's dead. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. And Hassan is unable to reach Van Sant. Yeah. And then she tries to get to the whole of Van Sant, but they redirect her to Coleridge, who tells her that Van Sant was in a car accident. She was T-boned while trying to leave. And that's where, you know, Harris is like, fuck it. I know it's you. I know you're the one behind it. And you're going to go down, so is Moretti. And he's like, well, you tried, Harris. You're out of your fucking league. She also figures out earlier that, like, they're trying to pin it on her, like, because of, that's why she was allowed to come back. Coleridge allowed it so that she could take the, if it doesn't work, she could take the flak for it, you know, if whatever. Another plane, a Navy plane, shows up to escort them with Daryl trying to play mind games. So, oh no, they're here to shoot you. They're here to shoot you if something goes wrong. And it's like, okay. And Winston really needs a medic right now because he's been stabbed twice. And she gave him some of that drugs to help him calm down. Like, okay, now there's two fears, okay? In a fucking plane, right? That's one of my fears. The other one, needles. Yeah, he's like, I don't like needles. Even she's like, really? You need the medication. Daryl gets loose by breaking his hand and attacks again. But he's shot and is thrown from the plane when it crashes on the runway because they finally get there. And he's run over by a fire truck, which is fucking awesome. And they manage a successful crash landing. I always find that weird. It's a successful crash landing. Well, they crashed. How successful is it? They're not dead, I guess. But we're not done yet. If I was here, I would cut. I'd go. And then cut to the courtroom. Where we see the court case. We see Moretti and Coleridge put away. No, actually, we got more of this. So they take Winston out. They put him on a gurney, and they put him into the ambulance. And then she sees the most obvious fucking henchman to ever be a henchman. They show this guy, and I go, well, he's obviously a bad guy. And she's able to notice it. And they make it seem like, oh, because she's an FBI or whatever, she would know. And I'm like, she's a marshal, she would know. It's like, no. Even Ray Charles would tell you, hey man, that's a bad dude. Ray Charles is dead. Stevie Wonder could tell you, he ain't no good guy. Right? Helen Keller could tell you that. How bad he is. Come on. Oh, too soon? Come on. Come on. No. So, she goes in there and she sees he's trying to smother him with a plastic bag. And what gets me is that it's not quiet. When she's going, no one else can hear that? Really? No, she shoots the fucker. She's like, she sees her son and she's all happy. She notices this. She goes in, she shoots the fucker and she gets in there. She's like, it's okay, Winston, it's okay. And like, the camera pans and everyone's just standing there like, what the fuck? Even Hassan is like, huh? And the movie ends. It ends. This is my big criticism. We should have seen the fucking trial. I know this movie has gone on for too long already. How long is this movie, by the way? 91 minutes. I think 10 more minutes could have worked. I said there are issues with the pacing, but we need to see this guy go down. The whole movie is about bringing this guy in to take down this crime boss, right? We don't see the crime boss get taken down. It ends just with, he's alive. Yay. So he's going to testify, right? At least with Break, which I mentioned before, we don't see anyone go down because it's all, it was they ended with the character's death. I don't know. But, yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I don't get the hate. I don't get it at all. I'll give it a high middle of the road for sure. It's not high hard or anything, but it's a decent thriller, I think. But yeah. What are your thoughts on Flight Risk? Don't so much like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.